Listen to me. Rich people think differently. So what I'm going to put in your head today is a rich people concept so you can get to understand it. The only difference between successful people and not is just how they think. Rich people think different. Quit letting people tell you you got to get qualified in another program. You don't need another program to be successful. You need to change the way you think. So here's the deal. The problem with becoming a millionaire is that when you decide that you want to be a millionaire, you immediately start thinking, how can I become a millionaire? Well, that thought don't just pop into your head, so you get frustrated and you don't become a millionaire. And you start creating stuff like, well, I guess this wasn't the Lord's will, or as soon as I think of how I'm gonna make $1 million. You can't think of how to make $1 million. Stop. Do you know if you knew how to make $1 million, what's today, Tuesday? Wouldn't you make it by Friday? Would not you make it by Friday? But suppose I told you how you can become a millionaire with what you have. Because here's the deal. All of you have everything it takes to become rich. You just don't believe it. Now, if you can develop this theory that I'm about to share with you, I have the way for you to be rich. This is it. First of all of you have a gift. God gave it to you when he created you. God never created a single soul without giving them a gift. That's the God that created you. He's a very smart God. Here's the cold thing. When he made you, he put the gift inside of you. He didn't hide it under the ocean. It ain't on the mountain nowhere. It ain't under no rocks. You ain't got to go drilling. God put what you needed inside of you at birth. All of you have a gift. But you have got to do your gift, the thing God gave you at birth to do. It is the thing that you do the absolute best with the least amount of effort. That's your gift. Anything else you doing, you wasting your time. Do you hear me? You wasting your time. If when the alarm clock goes off in the morning and it makes you sick every morning that alarm go off, it's because you ain't doing your gift. You're going against what God created you to be. Do most of you know what your gift is? Who in here doesn't know their gift yet? Okay, let me tell you what you do. Go home today. Don't talk to nobody. Sit down and have one conversation with yourself. What is the thing that I do the absolute best with the least amount of effort? This ain't gonna take you long. You old enough, you grown. Write it down. I don't care if it's networking. I don't care if it's babysitting. I don't care if it's doing color. I don't care if it's painting. Whatever it is, it's what you do. Sing it. Whatever you do the best, write it down. That's your gift. That's it. You ain't gotta go asking a bunch of people. They've been telling you your whole life. You know, you ever have people call you with their problems? They always call you with your problems because you gifted at it. But you didn't know how to identify it. If you identify your gift. Now, let me ask you this question. This thing that you're gifted at, if you did it for somebody, do you think somebody would pay you $10 for your gift? Just $10. Could you babysit for $10? Could you cut somebody's hair for $10? Could you cut their grass for $10? Could you make them a chicken dinner for $10? Could you do something for $10? Everybody. Don't you have something somebody would give you $10 for? Okay, now, once you have something that somebody's willing to pay you $10 for, this is how this works. It's called the multiples of 10. See, you don't have to figure out how to be a millionaire. You just got to figure out the thing that makes you $10. So now here we go. You do it and you make $10. Soon as they pay you the 10, go do it 10 more times. Whatever it was. Watch some more kids, 10 more times. Get another 10, you got $100. When you get $100, whatever you did to make that $100, listen to me, do it 10 more times. You ain't got to get tricky with it. Just do it 10 more times. You'd have made $1,000. Whatever you did to make the $1,000, don't get smart. Stay stupid now. Do it 10 more times. You have now made $10,000. Hold up. Now we finna grow a little bit. But guess what you got to do to grow? You just got to do some more. Whatever you made $10,000 doing, I need you to do it 10 more times. What you tripping for? If you do it 10 more times, you got $100,000. Now, you might have to hire some people to make this happen. You got to figure that part out. But all you got to do is do what you did for $10. Once you make $100,000, if you just do it 10 more times. Do you realize that every day you thought you wasn't gonna make it? Do you remember them days where you thought it was absolutely unbearable and you thought you wasn't gonna endure that one? Do you know that your survival rate for every last one of them bad days is 100%? Your track record for surviving bad days is 100%. That's a fact. Your track record. You batting 1,000. You done survived every funky day you ever had. You survived every hater. You survived all the evictions. You survived the firings. You survived all the tell you no, we ain't hiring. You survived all the trouble you ever been in. Your survival rate is 100%. 100%. All you got to do is start changing the way you think. It's as simple as, it's not a magic trick. You can protect yourself from negativity. And that's what stops most people, negative thoughts. You can coat your mind from negativity. It's a real simple exercise to do. I do it every morning before I walk out the door. So I walk out as a positive person. You know, I get tired sometimes. That's different from being negative, because I get mentally drained from my job at times. But to coat your mind from negativity, the way you can put a coating around your mind is with one simple thing: gratitude. Gratitude erases negativity. I'm gonna show you how this works. If you wake up in the morning and you start having negative thoughts, man, this ain't my day. I woke up on the wrong side of the bed. I'm tripping, I just don't feel myself. Every time you feel, in the middle of the day, if you feel yourself doing that, stop, just stop for a second. And start going over in your mind everything you have to be grateful for. Not everything you want, everything you already have. Because what you have is substantial. You just haven't gone over the list and taken inventory in a long time. But the fact that you can walk, that's a blessing. The fact that you woke up, that's another blessing. The fact that you can see, think, reason, that's another blessing. The fact that you can go somewhere and get yourself something to eat, that's another blessing. The fact that you can go and turn the key and call someplace home, that's another blessing. The ability to dream is a blessing. The fact that you have an opportunity to get it right is another blessing. The fact that you're beautiful, that's another blessing. The fact that you have any measure of health, that's another blessing. And I'm just talking to you, I don't even know you. I could give you 50 things you ought to be grateful for right now. I don't even know you. Start coating your mind with gratitude. It'll change everything for you. Listen, man, like I told all my kids have a college education. I told them all, I don't care what you get a degree in. Until you follow your dream and connect it to your gift, you'll never be happy. You'll never be happy, man. I just gotta tell you, you got to chase that dream before you die, man. You should go and live your dream. Just go see. God puts your real life in your imagination. That's where your real life ain't in your present circumstance. Your real life is not in your current situation. Your real life is not in your paycheck. Your real life, he tucks it away in your imagination. Albert Einstein said, imagination is everything. It's a preview to life's coming attractions. Everything you imagine is a preview to a coming attraction. Once you understand that and quit looking at your imagination as hocus pocus, it opens up a wide range of things and possibilities. And God puts your real life in your imagination. Listen to me. This is serious what I'm telling you. Don't you think it's nothing else. Imagination is everything. It's the preview to life's coming attractions. That simply means everything that's in your imagination is a preview of a coming attraction that God has for you. That's why he puts it in your imagination. That's why when you tell your imagination to the wrong people, it don't go nowhere. You ever had something you thought was a brilliant idea and you took it in there to your family and your loved ones and they shot it down? You know why they shot it down? Because they couldn't see it. Because God didn't put it in their imagination. He put it in your imagination. If you want to kill a big dream, tell it to a small-minded person. Die like that. It'll just die. I walked in that house, man, and told everybody I was quitting my job to go be a comedian. Everybody in that house shot that down. My ex-wife shot it down. Her mother-in-law shot it down. My mama shot it down. All my friends shot it down. My brothers and sisters shot it down. Don't you quit your job, go be no comedian. You can't make no money telling no jokes like that. It's 1985. Who you think you are? If I had listened to them, I wouldn't even be here today. But I didn't listen because it was evidently clear to me. God had put it in my imagination that one day I would be on stage. That was an old song that the Temptations had. It was written by Donny Hathaway, and it's called A Song for You. And one of the stanzas in the song I used to sing as a little boy. I've acted out my life on stages with 10,000 people watching, and we are alone, and I'm singing this song for you. I used to always imagine myself in front of 10,000 people. Man, I'm one of the original kings of comedy, man. You know how many people I done been in front of? I done told jokes in front of 44,000 people before. But if I had listened to my mother, who was saved and a Christian and a Sunday school teacher, if I had listened to her, I wouldn't have quit my job. All my brothers, everybody told me, you can't go be no comedian. I left anyway. I won amateur night on October 8th, 1985, won $50. I went to work the next day, October 9th, 1985, quit my job. Everybody in my neighborhood called me a fool. I send planes, pick all of them up, take them to shows. And all of them. All of them. You gotta chase that dream before you die, man. I became very aware of what it's like not to have a home. You know, a home, man, is important. No matter how small it is, no matter how bare or meager, at the end of the day, you have the right to be able to say, I'm going home. And I don't care how funky of a day you had, man, if I could just get to my house, I don't care what it looked like. I don't care what the furniture looked like in there, but man, if I could just turn the key and shut the door and be in my house, that's just a moment of relief. I didn't have that. I wouldn't gotten, your car's not a home. There ain't no moving around. Once you get in the front seat, you're pretty much there. It was very, very difficult, man, but it put a determination in me too, because I was determined. I was determined to be something. And my dreams of being a TV personality was bigger than, you know, I was homeless, man. I mean, you know, you're in a position where you're going, I got nowhere to go except up. I might as well keep hustling. I was in comedy. I just wasn't making nothing. All the money I was making, I was sending back home to my wife and kids. That didn't last long. She got tired of that real fast. But I couldn't go back to Cleveland because I wouldn't have enough money to drive back down south to perform. One time I drove to the house in Cleveland. I finally got enough money. I drove to the house in Cleveland. everybody was gone. I didn't see my kids for almost 2 years. I ain't see her, nothing. So they just left, boarded up the house. So I said, okay, I ain't got nowhere to go. So next thing you know, I'm in the car. I lived there, but it taught me determination, man. I'm a really, really determined person. It also taught me that no matter what happens to you, it ain't over. It ain't over. Ain't no such a thing as over. As long as God wakes you up, that means he ain't through with you yet. And if he wakes you up, you got a shot to correct it and get it right. And he kept waking me up. So I figured, okay, God wakes you up. That also means that he has something for you that you've yet to receive. So as long as he was waking me up, I figured what else? He can't take nothing else from me. I ain't got nowhere to stay, so I just kept asking. It drew me closer to him because I had nothing else. You know, but I'm that type of person, and he knew that about me. He had to take everything from me to get my undivided attention. So he did it. He took it, stripped me down. I needed to pay attention to him. I had to remember what my mama taught me as a Sunday school teacher. So he took everything from me. And I had nothing but him. So I just talked to him all the time. I got real strong in that car. You know, I learned a lot of stuff in that car. I think humility was a thing that I learned, humility. I walked in a comedy club October 8th, 1985. Had never been in a comedy club, had only heard about him. I was writing jokes for this comedian. This girl told me, "You're writing his jokes?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Why don't you do them yourself?" I said, "How? Where?" She said, "A comedy club." I said, "What's that?" She says, "Comedy club." She said, "Why are you writing them jokes for him? You ought to tell him yourself." She said, "I'm gonna pick you up Tuesday and take you." We drove 45 minutes from Cleveland to Hilarity's Comedy Club. I signed up for the following week. 9 guys went up. I was just staring at them. She said, "How come you're not laughing?" Because I was just staring at them. Because every joke they told, I knew what they were going to say, and deeper than that, I knew what they should have said. And then when the 10th person came up, they called his name and he wasn't there. He got scared and left. So they said, "We're gonna go to next week's list. Is Steve Harvey still here?" And I looked at her and I said, "Man, this dude in here got the same name I got." She said, "You know what, you a stupid." And he said, "Steve Harvey, you here? Come on up." I'd never been on stage in my life as a stand-up. I ran up on stage. Long story short, they had a clap-off. I won $50, amateur night. For 45 minutes, I cried all the way home. That girl said, "Why are you crying? It ain't but $50. I said, "No, you don't understand. I was born tonight." I said, "This is what I'm gonna do the rest of my life." She said, "You just won $50, you gotta go back." I said, "I'm gonna go back, but this is what I'm gonna do the rest of my life." October 9th, the next morning, I went to my job and quit my job with $50. $50. I just quit. Ex-wife left me. Mother-in-law, boy, I cost some hell. Made $3,000 first year in business, $5,200 the second year, $7,300 the third year. Became homeless, lost everything I ever owned, lived in a car for 3 years. I kept telling them jokes. My father was the only one who believed in me. My mother, my brothers, sisters, all my friends, man, get out of that, man. You ain't making no money. You can't tell no jokes. I just kept on. I just kept on. And I'd have made a lot of money, man. I'd have made a lot of money. But I took a chance when it didn't line up. But you can't wait till it line up. You gotta jump. If you ever planning on soaring, you're gonna have to jump. Now, I don't suggest you jumping like I did. That ain't for the faint of heart. But if you don't do it now, when you gonna do it? So I jumped. Here I am. 35 years later, let's go. Yeah, let's go. You need faith. You ain't got to be that smart. I flunked out of school. I ain't got no degree in nothing. You got to identify your gift and go do what you gifted at. You ain't got to be smart. You don't got to have a degree. You don't have to go to UCLA or none of that. You could be highly successful and go to no school. Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates don't have a degree between none of them. They got more degrees working for them than a thermometer. Just go follow your dream, man. Go make your life happen. My whole career is dedicated to all my punk teachers that told me, sit down, acting a fool. You ain't gonna ever make no money acting a fool. It's all I had. I just used what I had. Identify your God-given gift and go and get your life. Quit tripping because you don't have what a group of people told you need to be successful. If you're not a degree person, you can go to school all you want. If that's not in you, how you gonna get a degree? Quit letting people tell you the route to success when clearly God created you to be different. Just go that route. All my friends got college degrees, all of them. I flew all of them to Cancun, Mexico last year. I flew all of them. I flew 22 people to Cancun, Mexico. On me, gave them all free rooms, paid for everybody's golf, all their food, all their drink, gave them everything. Because these my dudes. I went to college with them, I flunked out. But what God did for me made me different. So I just showed them the life. Now they all come to me for advice. You don't have to go get a degree if you're not a degree person. Now, if you want to be a doctor, scientist, or lawyer, you got to get a degree. But if you're not that person, you can still make it. Quit tripping because you don't have what he got. You ain't finna be what he is. God made you different. Just go be different. You get paid to be different. People pay you to be different. Weird people make money. Regular people don't make money. Regular people make regular money. If God made you exceptional, go be exceptional at whatever it is. That's how you become it. People pay for expertise. They pay for exceptional people. They don't pay regular people. If you focus in on being regular, you're gonna have a regular life. It's nothing wrong with that. But if you aspire to something more than regular, you got to go be extraordinary. The difference between ordinary people and extraordinary people is one word: extra. If you put extra on top of ordinary, you become extraordinary. You ain't got to be like everybody else. If you do hair, go do everybody's hair. If you cut grass, cut everybody's grass. I'm telling you, man, you can be highly successful without a college degree. I don't have one. I was 27 years old, October 8th, 1985, Hilarity's Comedy Club. Walked in the comedy club, first time in my life, won amateur night, $50. Drove 40 minutes home, cried all the way home. This girl I rode with, she said, "Why you crying? It ain't but $50. You don't even understand. I'm born." She said, "What you mean you born?" I said, I know what I'm gonna do the rest of my life. She said, "You ain't winning but $50. No, I've been praying my whole life, God, what is it? My life gotta be more than this. I won that comedy competition. I went to work October 9th, the next morning, and quit my job. I'm gonna tell you something. That decision cost me everything I had. I lost everything. I lost my family. I lost friends. I lost everything. I became homeless. I lived in a car for 3 years. But I just saw this vision. I just pursued it. I said, wow, that's it. You have to take chances in life. If you don't take chances in life, you'll never have the life God has for you. Life is about risk. If you play it safe in life, you ain't gonna have much of a life. If you play it safe, you won't have much of a life. Life is risk. It takes courage to pursue your dream. I just did it. It cost me everything, but eventually, God is very good, man, when he sees you take a leap of faith. He supplies you everything you need. Now, it's gonna cost you something, but most people are not willing to pay what it costs to go after your dream, because you're gonna have to hurt a little bit. And most people don't like being uncomfortable. If you don't wanna be uncomfortable, please do not pursue success, because success is a very uncomfortable feeling. And I learned to be comfortable being uncomfortable. If you can get that in your head, this too shall pass. Every moment of everything you've ever gone through, God got you through it. You didn't even realize it. He just got you through it. You can't name one thing he didn't pull you through. Well, I lost my mother. I'm still grieving over that. I lost my mama 21 years ago. I still grieve over it, but I'm here. You know, I got through it. You're gonna get through it. But you gotta take chance in life, man. Can't play it safe, y'all. You gotta jump, you gotta go for it. Let's go. Well, here's the deal. When you have a massive goal, something that's big, you must first make it something that not reaching it is unacceptable. Me not being who God made me to be, me not living my dream was unacceptable for me. Now, when you get faced with a challenge like living in your car for 3 years, what happened was I had a dream that was so big, my dreams were bigger than all my problems. You know what I'm saying? See, if your dreams aren't really big enough and your problems are bigger than your dreams, then your problems will be bigger than your dreams. But if your dreams are so big, I had no problem that I was not willing to endure to get to my dream. Now, the key, you said it though, was step by step. Remember this saying, inch by inch, anything's a cinch. Inch by inch. See, so you gotta set incremental goals along the way. On your way to, let's say you wanna be a millionaire, but let's say you only make $5,000 a year right now, but you want to be a millionaire. Then you have got to take whatever you did to make $5,000 and duplicate it so you can make 10. But when you make 10, that should be a minor celebration. Then when you make 20, that should be another minor celebration. Don't stay frustrated because you haven't reached the million, because it takes a long time to make $1 million. But let's just say you're making $250,000. There's another celebration you should have. So you have to enjoy the journey, because the journey is not going to change. If you wait until you reach your goal to celebrate, it's mentally debilitating. So you have to have monumental steps along the way, and just make inch by inch anything's a cinch. Set very doable goals as you're trying to reach the impossible thing. Me being a TV star from where I was an impossible thing, and everybody told me that. Every single body I knew told me that's impossible. A television star. You go work with your father and your brothers for construction. So when I was in high school, I worked construction with my father. I hated it. I was going to I'm digging holes and carrying buckets of tar. I don't want to do this. It's good money right here. I kept looking on TV, man. You know, first time I saw a black person on TV in the United States. When he came on TV, all the black people went inside to watch this black man on TV, because no black man had ever been on TV in America and spoke, ever. You got to go, man. You just have to go. Never wait on the right time, because the right time ain't ever coming. All that, I'm going to get my ducks lined up in the row? No, you won't. No, you won't. Because as you have aspirations, you got to understand that the devil understands your aspirations too. The devil's job is to rob you of your destiny. So there will always be an obstacle. So if you're waiting on the right time, you'll never make the move. You have to go. See, devil, he only has one job: to rob you of what God intended for you to be. That's his only job. So he has a lot of people that work for him full time. They're called haters. And they at work all the time. And you all experience with them too. And so what you got to do is, when you have these ideas of greatness, you got to go forward. Because it's not going to be a right time. Just go. Just go. Go, jump, take a chance. I walked in a comedy club October 8th, 1985. Had never been in a comedy club, had only heard about him. I was writing jokes for this comedian. This girl told me, "You're writing his jokes?" I said, "Yeah." She said, "Why don't you do them yourself?" I said, "How? Where?" She said, "A comedy club." I said, "What's that?" She says, "Comedy club." She said, "Why are you writing them jokes for him? You ought to tell him yourself." She said, "I'm gonna pick you up Tuesday and take you." We drove 45 minutes from Cleveland to Hilarity's Comedy Club. I signed up for the following week. 9 guys went up. I was just staring at them. She said, "How come you're not laughing?" Because I was just staring at them. Because every joke they told, I knew what they were going to say, and deeper than that, I knew what they should have said. And then when the 10th person came up, they called his name and he wasn't there. He got scared and left. So they said, "We're gonna go to next week's list. Is Steve Harvey still here?" And I looked at her and I said, "Man, this dude in here got the same name I got." She said, "You know what, you a stupid." And he said, "Steve Harvey, you here? Come on up." I'd never been on stage in my life as a stand-up. I ran up on stage. Long story short, they had a clap-off. I won $50, amateur night. For 45 minutes, I cried all the way home. That girl said, "Why are you crying? It ain't but $50. I said, "No, you don't understand. I was born tonight." I said, "This is what I'm gonna do the rest of my life." She said, "You just won $50, you gotta go back." I said, "I'm gonna go back, but this is what I'm gonna do the rest of my life." October 9th, the next morning, I went to my job and quit my job with $50. $50. I just quit. Ex-wife left me. Mother-in-law, boy, I cost some hell. Made $3,000 first year in business, $5,200 the second year, $7,300 the third year. Became homeless, lost everything I ever owned, lived in a car for 3 years. I kept telling them jokes. My father was the only one who believed in me. My mother, my brothers, sisters, all my friends, man, get out of that, man. You ain't making no money. You can't tell no jokes. I just kept on. I just kept on. And I'd have made a lot of money, man. I'd have made a lot of money. But I took a chance when it didn't line up. But you can't wait till it line up. You gotta jump. If you ever planning on soaring, you're gonna have to jump. Now, I don't suggest you jumping like I did. That ain't for the faint of heart. But if you don't do it now, when you gonna do it? So I jumped. Here I am. 35 years later, let's go. Yeah, let's go. Whatever it is you're trying to do, you must first determine if it is your gift. There's a difference between your passion and your gift. Your passion is something that you enjoy doing. Like, I'm passionate about golf, but it ain't what I do. I suck. It's just not what I do. I'm gifted at words. I'm gifted at that. So before you strike off into script writing, determine your gift. And don't pursue things that you're passionate about. Pursue the thing that you are gifted at. All of you are gifted. Every last one of you, God gave you a gift at birth, all of you. God never created a soul without giving him a gift. All of you have a gift. Your job is to discover the gift. It's very simple. It's the thing that you do the absolute best with the least amount of effort. That's your God-given gift. Anything else you're doing, you're wasting your time. So you should ask yourself first, is writing the gift? Is writing the gift? Now, the writing may not lead you to screenwriting or movies. It may lead you to books. But the first thing you need to do is writing your gift. If it's your passion, you're wasting your time. You're going to write a book that don't nobody like but you. Let me show you this. We all live inside a bubble, right? This is our world. We go to church here, we work over here, we go get our coffee over here, we go to this park over here, we usually go over here to, hang out with friends. This is our favorite club. This is our world. This is our favorite spot on the beach. We all live in this bubble. What you gotta do to get the life that God wants you to have, you gotta put more air in your bubble. You got to blow your bubble up. Expand yourself. Take yourself out your comfort zone. Do not live in your bubble. Put some more air in your bubble. If you stay in your comfort zone, that's where you will fail. You will fail in your comfort zone. Success is not a comfortable procedure. It is a very uncomfortable thing to attempt. So you got to get comfortable being uncomfortable if you ever want to be successful. Start putting some pressure on. Put some pressure on yourself. Get out here and get about it. Look, I'd love to sugarcoat this thing for you. I'd love to tell you, look, you can go out here and get rich, do a couple of things. That ain't happening. You got to get real doggish. You got to get downright funky if you want to make it. Now, like I was telling you before, if you want to be ordinary, you ain't even got to listen to me. Just go on about your business. If you think ordinary's cool, ain't no problem. It's some really, really wonderful ordinary people. But if you are sitting in this room and you have extraordinary aspirations, then you're gonna have to do extra. You put extra on top of on ordinary and you come up with extraordinary. It's no other way. I'm sorry, but here's the fact. All of you have extraordinary capabilities. All of you. You have to decide if you are willing to do the things to put you in that category. Rich people don't sleep 8 hours a day. That's a third of your life. It ain't but 24 hours in a day. You cannot be sleep 8 hours a day. You can't live in LA and wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning. It's 11 o'clock on the East Coast. The stock market been open 2 hours. They already making decisions about your life and your was sleep. Get off of Instagram and Snap and get off all these blogs and get into something that can really, really move your life forward. It's really not important what the majority of people that are blogging are saying. As a matter of fact, bloggers are not relevant people, they're not shakers and movers, and they're not decision makers, and they're not power brokers. So when you spend so much time in the blog world, the Instagram world, the chat world, all of this, you're wasting valuable time. If I was young and I had what you have, and you're the brightest group of young people that have come along in a long time, man. Millennials are absolutely brilliant because you all have technology. I had no technology growing up, nothing. You couldn't download a book. You had to go to the library, go to the card catalog, pull it open, find the book, find the number, go get on the elevator, go to the row, find the number book, get the book, and hope somebody ain't told a page out that you want to read. That's what it used to be. When my mom and them finally got the money together to help us educate ourselves, they bought an encyclopedia set, Britannica, Funk and Wagnall. And everything you wanted to know was in that encyclopedia. And that's all you could know. If you want to look up something about elephant, and they had 2 pages on elephants, that was what your knew about an elephant. Y'all got Google. You can Google anything. You all have stuff at your fingertips that can make you great. But if you could combine your technology with your parents and your grandparents' work ethic, your could be rich. You could be rich, man. But you cannot erase the work ethic part. There is no getting around. Ain't no elevator to the top. You got to take the stairs. The elevator don't go to the top, man. Not in the world of success. You got to take the stairs. Y'all got to start getting gritty, man. I hate it when I see young people wasting their time, wasting all this technology got, just bull. Just sitting around in this world that's been created for you, that everything is instant. I was arguing with my son the other day. We're having a debate. I thought, man, I'm finally sitting with one of my sons having a healthy debate. I told him that from Cleveland to Nashville was about 540 miles, something like that. He Googles it while we're talking. He said, no, Dad, you're wrong. It's 526 miles. You. I said 540. It's amazing, man, how you rely on technology and it's a help to you. But young people, you got to get gritty, man. You got to develop some dog in you. You got to understand that success, you can't Google success. Go Google it. You can't Google it, man. I got something else for you. Because I've lived so long and I've been exposed to so many things. I've seen stuff hopefully you'll never see. And I've seen some things I hope one day you do see. But go Google exposure. It ain't gonna take you nowhere. I've been around the world, man, because I've traveled it. But I traveled it because I've made myself uncomfortable. I have a life of convenience now. But in order to get the life of convenience, you gotta have a very uncomfortable life. You got to get comfortable being uncomfortable. Stop trying to do everything the short way. Stop trying to figure out the easy way, because the ain't gonna happen. I got news for you, man. It's not happening, young people. You got to get messed up sometime. You got to get dirty. You got to get your feelings hurt. You got to get disappointed. You got to get told no. You're going to ask somebody for some money. He going to tell you no. But at least then, when I see somebody trying and I tell them no, I try to at least give them something else. See, I'm not going to hand you a fish sandwich. I'll teach you how to fish. But I'm not giving you a fish sandwich. You can forget that.